Dom Geoff back at it again with that Game Award nominees for best fighting game. You know, like Dom Daniel, but with Geoff. Alright, I'll stop. The Game Awards is back again this year, and it's time to break it down based off their nominees for what is the best fighting game of 2020. Wait, One Punch Man, the hero nobody knows is... So literally the committee definitely just went to Google and said, yo, we need another game. We need a fifth game. And that's what happened. Like, to be honest, My Heroes 1 Justice 2, Gundam Extreme Maxi Boost Versus, heck, them Fighting Herds didn't even get nominated, and technically they all released this year. Regardless, if you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, subscribe. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. I need y'all to join the Cabbagemen, the Yaya gang. I will love y'all on this team, bruh. We on there. That being said, though, LGI, leg it, leg out.
Alright, who's next?
Let's see who's stronger.
Alright, so the best way to tackle this video is acknowledging that there are games that didn't make the final cut via the Game Awards committee. This video is pretty much my opinion. No, it's not a fact, but me also looking over the entire year of fighting games, and if I was personally to make the Game Awards list or the list of fighting games for 2020, my list would have been Granblue Fantasy Versus, Unnighted Birth EX Late Clear, or aka Uni Clear, Them's Fighting Herds 1.0, Gundam Extreme Maxi Boost On, and Guilty Gear XX Accent Core plus R, the GGPO edition. Now, let's talk about the most likely winner from the Game Awards, simply because either everyone played them or just from a notoriety clause, simply because the next two games are very popular and well received and well known, even from an industry's perspective nowadays. First game from the Game Awards nominee is Street Fighter V Champion Edition. To be honest, I never ever really hated Street Fighter V's gameplay. It's just when the game originally came out, it was so bad as a video game itself. The problem with Street Fighter V is that it has some of the worst netcode, period, dog. Like, Street Fighter V is just Minato, the fighting game. Championship Edition, I lapped Lucia for about like 3 hours just to hop online and fight a teleporting Ryu from Brazil. And then to find out later on, that's an actual prominent meme because it pretty much happens to almost everybody. I really wished Street Fighter V had a fixed or better netcode, because I kind of think about Street Fighter V every day because I like the gameplay, but I just can't play the online at all. In 2020, since we are in a pandemic and we can't even play games with our friends though, I think for this year, heavily off that alone, I don't think Street Fighter V is a bad game now. I think it's actually a really good game now especially, but don't deserve the best fighting game of the year award for 2020. Now, next on this list is Mortal Kombat 11. Now, I want to let you guys know that I grew up with Mortal Kombat and I love Mortal Kombat still. My first two loves for fighting games were Mortal Kombat and Smash Brothers. The Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate officially launched a day before the Game Awards nominees release date. I know some people are pissed off about that, but to be honest, as long as it released in 2020, and regardless if it's an update or a new released version, it does matter and count. If you don't even want to use Ultimate, Aftermath came out earlier this year as well. Honestly, y'all doing this list, I feel like Mortal Kombat 11 has a 99% chance that it's going to win the TGA's award for the best fighting game of 2020. The inclusion of characters like Rambo makes MK11 like Smash Bros, but for boomers. Okay, I don't know, that might be kind of mean, but I don't even care. This game has pretty good netcode. It has content like, dog, if you don't even like fighting, you got story modes, unlockables, character customization, and a lot more. There's always something to do in MK11. MK11 also got that Warner Brothers money, because the updates for this game is just be happening out the wazoo a lot. I think Mortal Kombat 11 should be a standard for fighting games and how they should be made, and just making fighting game good products from the start. This is a biased opinion kinda, but Mortal Kombat 11 has everything but the gameplay. Personally, I cannot get into Mortal Kombat 11. I love the character reveals, the characters they add. I cannot play this game for a long period of time. It's as Mortal Kombat as it gets with like the fatalities and just the destruction, the violence. But when I look at the gameplay overall compared to MKX, MK9, for some reason MK11 kind of bores me. I would even go say MK to me seemed way more Unga crazy until MK11 personally. But again, that's just my opinion on the gameplay. But now that I got the first two games out the way though, I believe the Game Awards will pick, the winner is going to be One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows. Okay, I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm sorry. I got the sorry ass game out the way. We are down to the final 2 games that I think I would choose for the best fighting game of this year. And this is going to be very hard. Now, the final 2 games are between Granblue Fantasy Versus and Under Night and Birth EX Late CL-R, aka Uniclear. Now, I've talked about both of these games on this channel this year, and honest to God truth, I want Under Night and Birth EX Late CL-R. I'm just gonna call it Uniclear for the rest of the video. Alright, I want that game to win at the Game Awards, give French Bread some shine, boost them up a little bit. Hopefully, they hurry up with the hopeful rollback netcode that they've been talking about or trying to implement into Uniclear all this year. That would be beautiful. Think about a Naruto game potentially with Under Night's gameplay. I don't know, that just sounds gas to me, okay? Under Night and Birth has everything. It got the tutorials, not only on how to play the game, but help you get better at fighting games, or at least anime fighters in general, bruh. So that's clean. Now, with Granblue Fantasy Versus was honestly a return to form, where just to narrow down for people who haven't played Granblue Fantasy Versus at all, it's literally anime Street Fighter 2, or at least that's what they were aiming for. The game is just as good as Uniclear, besides the fact that they both are using delay-based netcode, you know. The best thing about this game is that it's from Arc System Works, and it was the most beautiful looking fighting game besides Guilty Gear Strive. Also, the huge thing about this game is that Arc System Works finally made skins in some way, shape, or form in the style of weapon skins. Dragon Ball FighterZ fans have been begging for skins since the beginning of the game, bro. And Granblue did that. The story mode is honestly one of the best Arc System Works has made for any of their games. You have online co-op, aka the RPG mode is honestly unmatched compared to Uniclear's visual novel story mode. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of visual novel story modes, but even if I were, I wouldn't even recommend it for most people, even though I think the writing is somewhat good. I feel like cutscenes for fighting games should be used 100% of the time, because why do you like playing fighting games? What catches your eye are fighting games? You want to see the cool stuff, right? So why not focus on showing off the characters being cool in the story mode too? Okay, so visual novels don't really work with fighting game story modes because they don't keep you interested enough as the gameplay, or not aka visually appealing. That's just my take. Is it right? I don't know. That's just how I feel. I'm just saying that right now. However though, for me, Uniclear is way more fun to play. The mechanics of Uniclear can be overwhelming, especially learning the grid and understanding Vorpal. I think the speed, the movement, and the way the combos work are more satisfying to me than Granblue Fantasy Versus. I learned from my taste in 2020, I feel like if it ain't got no air dash, I don't want to play it if it's an anime game, okay? I'm just playing, I don't really care. Maybe I do, I don't know, but that's just how I felt when I wrote this script. Leave me alone. And to be honest with you, Granblue Fantasy Versus is an amazing game, but I feel like there's no game that could necessarily do the Street Fighter neutral-esque gameplay better than just Capcom and Street Fighter. Even Street Fighter 5 may be looked as, for many people, the worst Street Fighter game. I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying that's the reception from it when it came out. I'm saying I'd rather just play Street Fighter 5. And literally, I would probably be a Street Fighter 5 player if the netcode wasn't constantly trying to be in the Bleach universe full of flash steps. Regardless, both games are amazing. I'm just being very picky here, alright? Granblue is an amazing game. So is Uniclear. But this video would just be boring as hell if I said, well, it's just a tie. Y'all will look at me like,
What in the Satan Deborah from Dragon Ball Z head ass having is this?
but my winner for best fighting game of the year, I'm gonna have to give it to it. Under Night and Birth, EX Late CL-R. This game right here is honestly incredible. It has some of the best gameplay in a fighting game. It's like the bridged gap between like different levels of play. I personally think the winner for best fighting game of the year, to be fair, would be Under Night and Birth EX Late CL-R. Again, I'm not the best at the game, but it's a fun game to look at. It's a fun game to play, and just the community for that game is one of the most fun type of group of people to watch or hear them talk about their game. I think what makes Under Night more tolerable to me is how the community treats its people as well, compared to like Granblue. Like Granblue right now, I want to play Bilal, right? I'm scared to play Bilal because the way people treat Bilal reminds me of how they treated people who play Bayonetta and Smash 4. So like that taints it for me, you know, even from a community level. They're both solid games. Even though I think Granblue has a lot better content per se, I do think that Under Night wins in the most important department for a fighting game, honestly, and it's the gameplay. That's just me. I already stated my feelings on Granblue on the channel multiple times, but yeah, I think they're both great games. They don't suck at all. And that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to go buy a t-shirt, watch the outro, please, and follow me on Twitter at avataryayaTV for more content, more updates on the future of fighting games, anime games, and I'm trying to get back into the Square Enix grind. So keep that in mind as well. It's your boy Avataryaya. Follow me on Twitter at avataryayaTV, and remember, you guys are golden, and that is raw. Squalla, peace, and I'm out.
We finally in the hotel room, bruh.
In the hotel in here, gangbang.
折れた淡い翼君は少し青すぎる空に疲れただけさもう誰かのためじゃなくて
Let's give him a little taste of the good shit!
I've been the devil, I need me an arc in the heart of my breathing, I feel like Tanjiro. Walking this bitch with a zapato, I'll let you rock it, I keep me a domino. Bitch on my dick, man, I feel like Kazaki. Stretching that pussy out like it's Pilates. I'm dashing the soul like right out of her body. Fire, I spitting, I feel like Dobby. White bitch, blonde hair, looking like Lucy. She from Kyoshi, I paint her face Suki. I'm a gorilla, you looking like Rookie. I'ma get paper, I ain't talking nicely. Live in the garden, I feel like Gato. I hit him with fire, they calling me Sabo. High as fuck, I'm off the kush with Quasar. Do a headshot, you getting laser.
オタク&フォローをお届けしています。